There's a battle going on inside you right now, and it's not against anyone else. It's between you and resistance. That's the central idea behind The War of Art by Steven Pressfield, a bold, unfiltered guide for anyone struggling to create, build, or follow through on meaningful work. This book isn't just about art. It's about writing your book, launching your business, starting that podcast, committing to your workout plan, or sticking with your side hustle. It's about beating the inner force that tries to stop you every time you take a step toward becoming who you're meant to be. Let's dive deep into what the War of Art is all about, from what resistance is, how it works, and most importantly, how to beat it. Who is Steven Pressfield? Steven Pressfield is a novelist and screenwriter best known for The Legend of Bagger Vance and The War of Art. But before he was published, he spent decades in obscurity, driving trucks, picking fruit, and working odd jobs. For years, he struggled with self-doubt, procrastination, and fear. That personal battle is what gave birth to The War of Art. This book is the distilled wisdom of someone who's lived the fight and made it to the other side. What is resistance? Resistance is the invisible force that keeps you from doing your most important work. Pressfield defines it as insidious. It's internal. It's always lying. It tells you you're not good enough, that it's not the right time, that maybe tomorrow will be better. Resistance comes in many forms: procrastination, fear, self-doubt, distraction, perfectionism, and even rationalization. You think you're being careful, but really, you're being controlled. Here's the truth. The more meaningful the task, the more resistance you'll feel. If you're sensing a lot of fear and hesitation, it's not a sign to stop. It's confirmation that you're on the right path. The characteristics of resistance. Resistance is universal. Everyone feels it. Every artist, every entrepreneur, every athlete. Resistance is always lying. It has one job: to keep you from growing. It's fueled by fear. Fear of success, fear of failure, fear of judgment. It never sleeps. Resistance is always there. It doesn't care about your goals or your intentions. It only backs down when you act in spite of it. And worst of all, it feeds on your inaction. The more you give in, the stronger it becomes. How do we beat resistance? By turning pro. Pressfield's solution is powerful in its simplicity. Turn pro. The amateur dabbles. The professional commits. When you turn pro, everything changes. The pro shows up every day no matter what. Rain or shine. Inspiration or not. The pro doesn't wait to feel ready. They know action brings clarity, not the other way around. The amateur fears failure. The pro knows failure is part of the job. Turning pro means treating your craft with respect. You schedule time. You sit down. You do the work. And you stop making excuses. The difference between the amateur and the professional. Pressfield outlines the difference like this. The amateur is distracted. The professional is focused. The amateur avoids discomfort. The professional embraces it. The amateur fears criticism. The professional grows from it. The amateur identifies with their fear. The professional sees fear as a signal to act. When you turn pro, you stop negotiating with resistance. You don't wait for the perfect mood or the perfect setup. You just show up and do the work. Resistance and rationalization. One of the trickiest forms of resistance is rationalization. It sounds like logic, but it's really fear in disguise. You'll say, "I just need more research. I'll start after this busy season. I need better equipment first." But deep down, it's resistance talking. Pressfield says, resistance will tell you anything to keep you from doing your work. It will perjure, fabricate. It will seduce you. It will lie to you like a snake. Your job is to recognize it and keep moving forward. Resistance's favorite targets. Resistance doesn't attack everything. It specifically targets anything that demands personal growth and change. That includes starting a business, pursuing creative work, overcoming addiction, getting in shape, practicing spiritual discipline, healing from trauma. In other words, resistance shows up most when the work truly matters to your soul. The muse and the role of the divine. In the second half of the book, Pressfield introduces a spiritual angle. He believes that the creative process is sacred, that the muse, a divine creative spirit, meets us when we do the work. The pro honors the muse by showing up daily, preparing the workspace, and doing their part. In return, the muse rewards them with inspiration, but only after the work begins, not before. This idea reinforces the need for consistency. Don't wait for magic. Create the conditions, and the magic will follow. Resistance in the final hour. Another powerful concept. Resistance gets stronger the closer you are to your goal. It's like a final boss in a video game. Right before the breakthrough, resistance intensifies. You're most likely to quit when you're closest to finishing. The manuscript is almost done. The launch is right around the corner. That's when resistance hits hardest. The only way to win? Push through. Keep going. Discipline over drama. Pressfield makes it clear, professionals don't make their process dramatic. They don't sit around waiting for a magical mood. They get up, they show up, and they do the work, whether they feel like it or not. This isn't about hustle culture. It's about maturity. Discipline over drama. Focus over feeling. Progress over perfection. Real-world takeaways from the War of Art. Here are 5 core lessons from the book that you can apply today. Recognize resistance, name it. Catch it in the act. Don't let it run the show. Show up daily. Make your work a daily ritual. Even 30 minutes counts. Turn pro. Treat your passion like your job. Even before you get paid. Don't wait for motivation. Action leads to motivation, not the other way around. Honor the work. Respect the process. Respect the craft. Respect your potential. Final words. What's your war? Every one of us is fighting a war of art. It's not just about painting or writing. It's about doing anything that calls to your higher self. So, ask yourself, what's the thing you've been putting off? What's your resistance trying to protect you from? And what would happen if you stopped waiting and started? Because the real war is not with the world. It's within. If this summary of the War of Art gave you a spark, don't let it fade. Comment below and share what resistance looks like in your life and what small action you're taking today to fight back. Subscribe for more daily videos in our Books Workshop series. Tomorrow, we'll dive into The One Thing by Gary Keller and learn how focus changes everything. Until then, keep showing up, because the world needs your work, and the only way to win is to do the work.